listen, seeing you got ritualistic, cleansing my soul of addiction for now, 'cause I'm falling apart. Yeah. Tension between us just like picket fences. You got issues that I won't mention for now, 'cause we're falling apart.
If you saw in my last video, we got a little glimpse of little Maple Girl here. She's my newest board and train. She's a 2-year-old golden doodle, and she's here for some reactivity to people and dogs, especially when they approach the owner while they're out in public. We're gonna work on some public obedience. She wants to be able to bring her out to like outdoor dining and shopping and whatnot. And then she also has some anxiety when it comes to grooming, like brushing and nail trim, which we're gonna do our best with. I don't groom my dogs usually. She's also here for some nighttime confidence. So at night, she's a little more reactive, a little more unsure when she's out in public. So we're gonna definitely work on that. So far, it's only been the first week. We're now on our second week, and so far she's been doing pretty good. She's actually a lot more high energy compared to the other ones that I've had recently. She's super like amped when I bring the food out and we're doing obedience. She's super friendly with people and dogs. So when she was here the first week, I did expose her around all my dogs. No crazy stuff happened. I did have her and Atari out at the same time. I had her on leash, of course. And you know how Atari is. He's a little twitchy, kind of goofy. So once he did that stuff, she tried to do the whole like, you know, the juking play bow stuff, and she tried to initiate play with him, but you know, had him on leash, had to control the situation and make sure that that did not happen. So we set the tone here that we do not do that crazy stuff here. Huh, Maple? I know. All right, you're like in my face. But anyways, I'm gonna take her out with Atari to the park. We're just gonna do some fun stuff, some casual public exposure, and then I'll probably let them run around a little bit, just give them some off-leash free time so she has a little more fun. It's not all formal, like strict training stuff all the time, because this will be more like real life, right? All right guys, we are back inside. It is just crazy cold out there, so we gotta take it inside. But let's talk about dog excitement. One of the common complaints that I get from most dog owners is their dog is overexcited whenever they see people or dogs, and they start lunging or barking once they see them. Most of the time, the issue for this is because they just over-socialized their dog when they were a puppy or whenever they got them. And by over-socialize, I mean they let their dogs go up to every single random person, greet random people, greet random dogs on walks, maybe take them to dog parks or puppy socials, and then it just builds a lot of excitement for that dog. If you show your dog that every single person and dog is gonna greet them, you're gonna start setting them up with an expectation that they're always gonna get attention from people and dogs, and then once they start seeing them, they're gonna get frustrated because they can't reach them, or they wanna reach them so badly that they're like, I gotta go greet that person, and then that's when the reactivity occurs. But it's okay, not every dog owner knows that in the beginning. When I first had my own pet dog, Axel, I didn't know that, and I brought him to hella dog parks, I let him go up to all these people to socialize him, and then I had to kind of tone it down myself. And for people that bring their dogs to dog parks, I know there's gonna be a lot of people that go against what I'm about to say. I am strongly against dog parks because, yeah, you can have dog fights, catch diseases, and then best case scenario that nothing bad happens to your dog. you start teaching your dog all that dog excitement. And then for some dogs, they can understand that the party is only in the dog park. But most young dogs, if you start them off with lots of dog park play, they start thinking every single dog on the street is their friend, and they start getting super pumped, super amped, and they're all like huffing and puffing, barking, lunging, whatever. And they just start showing all those signs of reactivity because they're so excited. For Maple here, how are we gonna kind of like fix this or reverse it or tone it down? So usually with the dogs that I work with, I'll have them exposed around my dogs 24/7. So I have a big pack, and then also I have dogs cycling in and out, whether that's board and trained or just dog sitting dogs. So they get tons of reps of being exposed to dogs where it tones them back a lot. When people work on it or they say they work on it, it's when they get exposed to dogs during their walks or they pull up somewhere, say like a dog park or a local park. But usually I would say a person will walk their dog for 15 minutes to an hour, best case. And say you walk your dog for an hour, right? How many dogs are you really gonna see? Say even if you were trailing a dog the whole time and you get exposed for that 1 hour, that's not much, right? That's one dog for 1 hour. But when they're with me, they're with dogs 24/7. So what I did in 1 day of exposure is already 24 times more that you did in 1 day. And if we want to compare what they do in a week, say they have an hour of exposure every day for a week, that's still 7 hours versus 24 hours that the dog has with me. And not only are they exposed around those dogs, but if I have private lessons or whatever, I'll also bring the dog out. They're constantly getting cycles of dog exposure with a lot of different dogs and for long periods of time. With Maple here, once she was dropped off, she was already exposed to like 8 dogs. Once we get her really chill around the dogs here, then I start bringing her out in public. And once we're in public, for the most part, most dogs are already toned down a lot because they're already so used to seeing dogs, and it makes it much easier where I have to minimize the amount of corrections or like stopping them with the leash or whatnot. So Maple's already good here. Like any dog that I bring out or any private lessons that I have, she does not care. So now on our next step, I'm basically just making sure she can do this in the real world. So far, I've only brought her out in public maybe 4 times. Each time she still has a lot of excitement when random dogs walk by. And each time I could see that she's gradually getting better. It's not like a big deal to her anymore when she sees dogs walk by, but sometimes if they get closer, they try to juke her or try to play or start barking, then yeah, we'll amp her up a little bit. All right, but we've gone long enough on this video. So just stay tuned on the next one for Maple's progress and when she goes home.